Which deck are you teaching me?
We're at MagicCon, right?
Yep.
Well, one of the tournaments I played here was a Spider-Man one, where the only rule was I had to have a Spider-Man face commander.
Electro, assaulting battery.
Correct.
Flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, add
1 red mana.
All right, so you really have to do some work to track. You could have a big mana pool going.
I was using dice and erasable sheets to track my mana.
What was the biggest you ended up with, roughly?
I stopped tracking it at around 30, and I was just like, I think I win here.
Okay.
Then there's a few things that add on to that. Here is a Burgie.
But you're gonna lay all this out for me?
Urbrask, Storm-Kiln Artist, and Ashling.
You're gonna explain how all this works.
Well, actually, just go ahead and read these 3. I think you'll understand very quickly.
All right. As an aside, and Griffin will tell me if I need to edit the aside. This reminds me, is anyone who knows, anyone who's watched enough, I am a glassblower. The kiln artist of Storm-Kiln Artist always jumps out at me.
Yes.
So my first thought is always some kind of glass, but I know it's not. Storm-Kiln Artist gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. All right, that does not jump out to me as something that goes with Electro.
Well, what does this read?
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. Okay, so it's just adding up the benefit you get when you cast those.
So now, if I cast an instant or sorcery spell, I get...
Both cards kick in.
So that's 2 mana per spell that I gain.
Because the treasure token is equal to...
Correct.
Okay. Urbrask, Phyrexian Praetor. First strike, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Urbrask deals 1 damage to target. Add red mana. Pay 1 mana, exile, then return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. Does that come back here when you cast an instant or sorcery?
No, it's that's a timing restriction.
Activate only as a sorcery and only if you cast 3 or more. Okay, but again, you're in your mana pool here. Yes?
Yes.
And then Burgie, I've heard about. I don't think I've ever seen played. Whenever you cast a spell, oh, well, that's very straightforward. Whenever you cast a spell, add red mana. Until in a turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Sounds similar to Electro.
So building up, this just becomes...
You've got a huge mana pool, and you can keep casting.
Pretty much.
Okay. This seems brutal to play against. So people are just sitting there as you're counting up your mana, deciding which cards to cast.
Yeah, and I play a ton of spells in a turn. Yes, sorry, I'm also trying to... I want to keep this going for you, so I'm showing you in real time.
How you think of these?
Yes,
Okay.
as I sort through.
All right.
This is a pile of cheap spells. So Red Elemental Blast, it also could go over here in terms of reaction, Soul Ring. But in my cheap spells, I also have a lot of ways to copy spells. And then things like Overmaster that draw cards when I do it. Spark Jolt, a horrible card. But lets me scry one. So I can, while looking for draw options, I just keep building. Chef's Kiss, interaction, and it lets me play more spells. Copy a spell. Cheap spell that's a hate bear. Cheap spell that can get me an extra Storm-Kiln Artist. These are just cheap things to build up my mana pool.
Cheap being only 1 or 2 mana. Everything's going to be in here. That's
Yeah.
3, 1.
3's the most expensive in there.
1, 2. Okay. 3. Yeah.
But then we're going to build up even more.
All right.
So those are just cheap things to do, generic, whatever, who cares. This entire pile...
Where do you want... I don't know how you organize it in your head.
In my head, it's all shuffled together. I just understand it exists.
Okay.
This entire pile, card draw, way to get more cards in hand, card advantage.
Card draw, okay.
Because if I have 1 or 2 of these out, each of these spells is going to be essentially net neutral or mana positive, so I can gain more resources and keep repeating this cycle.
And these aren't necessarily expensive, but they're not necessarily inexpensive.
Well, 2 mana or 3 mana.
Right, but that one's 5.
No, this is 2 mana because I use it for the sorcery aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't care about the dragon. I care about the sorcery.
Okay. So again, you're trying to keep things inexpensive, so you build up this huge mana pool, and you can just play, and play, and play, and people are just sitting there waiting for you to finish your...
Exactly, and
there we go, Jessica's will.
I am never going to be done interacting.
But even this deck is not the highest level deck you can go, right?
No. And I also didn't build it to be the highest.
So where would this...
This is a 3.
A 3? High 3?
I mean, it plays at
Low
high
4?
3, but it's also...
By the rules?
It's also more of a glass cannon. If I lose this pile, or I don't have at least 2 of these out...
You can't.
I'm not a threat.
Glass cannon, that means super strong but fragile?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I have a bit more in terms of ramp. I put my soul ring in the cheap
Lotus
pile because
petal.
I can.
Okay. Ruby medallion. Here on. Lotus petal. Not to be confused with the black lotus. Right? Gauntlet of power. All right, that's just a cool looking card.
Yep.
Zombie Minotaur, Afflict 3. All right. Are you going to walk me? How do you want to?
So this is the mana ramp. So
That's it?
there's also the soul ring, but yeah.
Okay.
This
Oh my
is not
gosh.
an expensive deck.
It's not inexpensive?
This is my...
in mana, not...
It's not mana intensive.
You're not talking about how much it costs you to put the deck together.
Oh. I have
You don't...
no clue.
Okay.
I had 90% of this in a pile already.
Okay.
The only card I was missing was Electro because I was trying to build an Ashling deck a while ago.
Okay.
So yeah, this is 5 pieces of ramp. Treasure Nabber is one of my... This is what I consider to be an underplayed piece in Power 3 decks, Bracket 3. Because anytime an opponent taps an artifact for mana, you gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn.
Say it again. Anytime someone else...
Taps an artifact for mana,
Yep.
you gain control of it
Of that artifact.
until the end of your turn.
Okay.
So, or is it your turn or until the beginning of... Yeah, end of your turn. So, say 2 other people have soul rings on the table.
Yes.
They each use their soul ring. You get 2 soul rings for your turn. They'll untap with you.
And then it reverts back to them.
And then it goes back.
But you got the free use.
Yeah, it's, hey, let me borrow that.
And that's a permanent, so that is...
It'll always be around as long as it's around. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
All right, so we've walked through these of just like card draw, cheap spells, ways to feed this engine.
Okay. Is there a name for this kind of engine? Like
It's a storm. It's a
storm.
storm deck. You're trying to cast everything at once.
Okay.
Then let's go ahead and go through this pile. This is just generic stuff that feeds the deck, helps it function.
Is this why you like Commander? Because there are so many cards that you get to mentally...
Yeah. It just
Segment
works in like this.
You need to know all these
like this
cards.
card I could easily take out. It doesn't need to be in this deck, but I think it's funny to be able to turn Urbrask into everyone takes 2 damage, or the Electrostatic Shield, which is anytime you cast an instant or sorcery, deals 1 damage to each opponent. It becomes 2 damage. Like it doesn't work amazing in the deck, but there's enough synergy that it functions.
Okay. So what would you call this stack? Like what is the
Exchangeable.
Okay.
It's stuff that I enjoy running and can give specific advantages when needed.
It does do things. It's
It's
not your
just
primary
not-
cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
But it's better than filler. I mean, it's more active.
Like Rodeo Pyromancer is a card that in theory is mana generation because it's the first the first spell you cast each turn adds 2 red mana. So,
Oh.
but it's only once. It's not the same as these where it's added every time, or this that lets me shuffle my hand around
Okay.
and keep changing things.
Okay.
Then we also have this pile. These are big spells that do a lot, minus this one. This is just this one we can actually put in the Ashling pile. It is a way to spend mana to make mana. But these are like bigger spells that are just fun to have in the deck.
Are you trying to find these during the game?
Nope.
You don't have to.
That is like fun. Can I get away with it?
Okay. Extras on top of the
Yes.
Arcane Bombardment, Sunbird's Invocation, Enchantment, O'Hare, Oxenel.
Yep. That's a really fun one because anytime a red source I control would deal damage, if that damage is less than his power, it becomes equal to his power.
Interesting.
So all of the things that ping for 1 in this deck, ping for 4.
I think I'm so far away from playing a level 3 or a level 4, but some of these mechanics or effects sound awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I've heard of that one, obviously. All right.
Then a little bit of interaction. There's more interaction in my cheap piles because
You're calling interaction. If someone plays a card you don't like on the stack, this
How
is
do I
your
deal
chance.
with it?
Okay. This is not a lot.
no, but I also have so a lot of the spells in here, like Red Elemental Blast, is also interaction, but it's also a 1-mana spell, and I would more likely use it for something like Flare of Duplication. That's interaction because I can copy a spell. So if someone's using counter magic, I can copy it and counter their counter.
Okay. So some of these cut both ways.
Yeah, it's how I want to. Same with Reiterate and Reverberate. Those are copy spells.
Is this
Same with Chef's
deck
Kiss.
list on Moxfield? If someone wants to.
If not, it will be. I need to double check. I was making some edits to this very late.
Okay.
Before the tournament.
But
so
this is the deck you played,
this is the exact deck I
and you
played.
went 3-0 in the tournament yesterday.
Yes.
And only a few people. It wasn't a full tournament
No.
where there was like only one person remaining, but only a few people could in 3-0, and you did.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Then this is everything we've looked at is fine as good. A lot of value, a lot of ways to build things up and have an amazing turn. So we're going to do these 3 pieces.
Okay. In this deck, are you building to one monster turn that ends it all? Are you hoping to have 2 or 3?
One turn.
Okay.
If I even hint that I'm about to win, I don't get another turn. Every player who has any competency will kill me and destroy my board.
Okay.
So part of how I remove, like I have a big turn, I need to start removing pieces that are problematic.
From other people's.
Boards,
Okay.
yes, and cement that they can't interact with me.
You're removing their defense.
Yes. We have Grapeshot. Grapeshot is a 2-mana spell that deals 1 damage to any target. It's good because it has Storm. Storm is you copy the spell for every spell you've cast this turn.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to cast this until I've cast at least 12 spells this turn and remove a lot of potentially problematic pieces.
This is part of the storm. You know you're going to be able to cast
Yeah.
a whole bunch. And so you're looking at what someone has on board, and if they have a 4-mana or whatever, you know you're going to have enough spells, you're going to cast this, you're going to have enough damage that you can...
Also, we care about this. Magecraft is cast or copy.
Oh, wow.
Storm
So you can-
copies.
Okay.
So I had this out. I played this when it was only 8 because I wanted 8 treasure tokens.
Right.
And then now I have enough mana. I don't care. I have built up everything I need. Underworld Breach. I can exile 3 cards from my graveyard to cast spells from my graveyard by paying their mana cost. So now I have access to everything in my graveyard.
Because you have so much mana.
I can just cast through it all again, and every time I cast it, I'm going to trigger these again.
Wow. Okay.
Mizzix's Mastery. I'm going to go ahead. I'm only ever going to cast this spell for its overload cost. It's not explained on here, but the
Okay.
overload mechanic will change the word target in the first paragraph to each. Meaning I cast the overload cost. I may cast each instant sorcery in my graveyard without paying their mana cost.
This is only a level 3?
Yes.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
these are only so I'm just going to burn through everything.
What is the jump between level 2 and level 3? It seems big.
That's where you start going for this is technically a non-deterministic combo deck. That means I may have all the synergy I need on board to win, but I can't guarantee I win until I draw into specific pieces.
Okay.
And then
Level 4 would be a deterministic combo if you have the pieces.
well, level 3 can have deterministic combos.
Okay.
It's just this one doesn't.
Okay.
So these are like values that are going to get me to the win or remove problems. Then win cons. These are my two main ones.
All right. So far, you're blowing my mind that you need a win con. It seems that you have so many spells that you're just going to beat the tar out of people with.
Well, I could draw through my entire deck with this very easily.
All right,
I need to actually do something.
So this is not just a combat damage win.
There's only one combat damage win, and it is this card.
Okay. Storm. Other dragons you control get +1/+1. Storm, when you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. So again, you are doing an obscene number of spells.
20 spells, 20 of these dragons. Each one gets +1/+1 for each other dragon.
And it's already a 4/4.
So here are 20...
5/5s?
No, 24 24s. Because this Anthem effect applies to every dragon.
Anthem. Okay.
So all of them are getting this effect 20 times.
And that's when you shake hands and say, thank you very much.
Like, do you have a board wipe? No, goodbye.
Yeah, okay. Aetherflux Reservoir. I think we've all heard.
Yes.
Okay. Is this deck generating life for you?
Yes, it is. If that is on the field. Go ahead and read the first part for me.
Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast. Oh, again, you're casting a gigantic number of spells, so you're going up to big numbers. You probably have a multiplier in there somewhere. I don't know.
I don't need to. So think about this. It's for each spell cast before this turn. So the first spell is 1 life. Second spell is 2 life. Third spell is 3 life. Fourth spell is 4 life. Fifth, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's not 1 life
Per spell is for each spell cast before it. If this is the 8th spell I cast on a turn, the 9th spell gains me 9 life, then 10. And
But you're getting...
so
yes.
this is actually how I won
The
game 3 of my
exponential-
tournament. Because I played that as the 11th spell. And then I...
+10, +9, +8, +7, +6.
Well, it
everything
doesn't count
before it.
itself.
What do you mean?
Aetherflux Reservoir doesn't count itself.
But you
'cause
get
it's-
everything preceding.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and then my next spell, I gain 12 life, and so I'm at 30. Or not 30, I was at 40. At which point, I went ahead, and where is Wheel of Misfortune? I had the highest life total, so I was like, hey guys, I'm going to Wheel of Misfortune. I'm going to bid the highest bid that I can make is your highest life total.
We've talked about this.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and lose 28 life to make sure I draw 7 new cards. And with a fresh 7, I had 3 of my pieces on the board and an Aetherflux Reservoir. I just said, here's what I drew in my hand. I can play it out and Aetherflux everyone, or we can just call it here.
So they have basically they have to look at their hand. Can I react right now?
The fact that they hadn't reacted up to that point, and I made it very clear like what I was doing, the lines. They knew they had to
They had to deal with this card.
They had to either deal with that or cast discontinuity on my next spell.
And they didn't.
Correct.
Okay.
Part of what actually made it really funny for me is the judge for the tournament, or one of the judges, had sat down across from me because someone else had already died to combat damage, and so they had left.
There was an open seat.
And he just sat down because he had watched my deck the last 2 games. He knew it gets complicated, storm counts, things like that, how many triggers I had. I can't afford to miss everything.
Yeah, how do you keep track of...
Practice.
Okay.
But anyways, he's just sitting there, and I looked at my 2 opponents like, can you stop this? And he just chuckles because he knows this is either you played the spell discontinuity or silence, or I win.
Game over. All
Have
right.
we explained discontinuity for you?
Not
Side
really.
note, this is one of my favorite cards that I think is underplayed. Anyone who plays it, please let me know in the comments.
We should do an explain it.
You don't need to.
Okay.
Instant speed spell. End the turn.
Discontinuity. All right.
It-
So if you're in the middle of a turn and someone plays discontinuity and you don't have you get a chance to answer it.
It's sort of a counter spell.
Yeah.
Because end the turn means anything on the stack disappears.
Under it.
Well, the turn ends, so anything on the stack can't resolve.
Do you get a chance to answer the discontinuity?
Yeah, you can try to respond.
Okay.
But if there's like an infinite combo on the stack, discontinuity. Nope.
It disappears. All right. And that's why the stack exists.
Yes, and this is like that's the kind of thing in the middle of this. You have to be able to cast in the turn, counter 2 or 3 of my key pieces.
And you're trying to keep an answer to something like that in your hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, this deck is most likely going to win next turn if I have any 2 of these.
Out at any.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that means
So not even necessarily your commander.
I don't need it.
If you didn't have your
If I
commander.
have any 2 of these 4 cards on the field, even odds I win next turn.
Okay. And so you built this deck to be able to get to that state
Yeah.
as quickly as possible. All right. Lands? Just basic lands or
This is just a stack of basic lands. This is actually a fun one. Lindblom Industrial Regency. It is both an instant and a land. So for 2 in a red, I can play the instant side. I just make a 1/1 mage token that anytime, is it a 1/1 or a 0/1? A 0/1. And anytime you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 1 damage to every opponent.
Okay.
Or it's a land.
This sounds very cool
And then
and it worked out very well for you.
yes, Dwarven Ruins is also a fun land. Enters battlefield tapped. I can tap it for a red, or I can tap it, sacrifice Dwarven Ruins, and get 2 red. Yeah, this is how I won the tournament yesterday.
And probably be up on Mox Field
Soon,
before too long.
yes. Probably before this gets posted.
Yeah.